For 3 months in Malaysia, we budgeted $3,000 for accommodation, and we ended up spending only $2,200 with a whopping $800 in savings. How did we save $800 even though we were renting in one of the most expensive suburbs in Kuala Lumpur? What was our criteria to even find a valuable accommodation like this? In this video, we are going to spill the beans.
Hi, we're Nabil and Zanesta. We recently quit our 9-to-5 jobs, left our comfortable home in Australia to slow travel the world with our 3-year-old daughter. We are an average family, but we made a tough yet liberating decision to design an alternate life of personal freedom. Our first destination on this incredible journey is Malaysia.
Now this video is a bit special because over here we're going to talk about 5 things that help us find this perfect $650 apartment here in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. Whether you're a couple traveler, a solo traveler, or especially a family traveler, I hope this video helps you finding that perfect accommodation for you.
So let's dive in. The first thing we considered when choosing a location here in Kuala Lumpur was to consider our personal needs and circumstances. Because whether you're a solo traveler, a couple, or a family, your needs are different. If you're staying here for a short term or a long period of time, your needs would be different. Or based on your personal preferences about a location, whether you like somewhere that's really busy and bustling, or a quiet neighborhood which is in the suburbs, or somewhere in the middle. So when we started researching online, whether it was YouTube videos or blogs, most people were suggesting this place called Bukit Bintang in the city center. So they were showing apartments or hotels overlooking the Petronas Towers, etc. While it was very tempting to live there with such great views and services, we soon realized that sort of accommodation would probably suit someone who is staying in KL for a short period of time or is not coming here with kids. And this is the most important thing, understanding that each of us have different circumstances and the location we choose should be dependent on the circumstances that we have today.
We are a family and we were looking for an expat friendly location, not something that is like a tourist hotspot. And that's when we came across the place called Mont Kiara, which is about, I think, 20 minutes drive from KLCC, and it's right in the KL metro area. So we did a bit of research on Mont Kiara and we found it to be a bit expensive for our budget, and we wanted to see what other suburbs are there in the surrounding area that could be more affordable for us. And we came across this suburb called Sri Hartamas, which is just 1 kilometer away from Mont Kiara, but really suits our budget, and it's like a 9 ringgit grab drive from Sri Hartamas to Mont Kiara, and it's very quick and easy.
Okay, now that we have decided on a location, our next step was to decide on the must-haves for us in terms of amenities. So what were they? Number 1, we needed to find an international preschool for Yara. Compared to Bukit Bintang, what we found in Mont Kiara, that there were a lot more schools that had better reviews as well as open play area that was important for us. The next step was to find a co-working space for Zanesta and I. We found common ground in Mont Kiara. This place was excellent and we loved it. Now, we must admit, Bukit Bintang has a lot more options in terms of co-working spaces, but let's be honest, all you need is just one. Next was access to gyms. This area in Mont Kiara has a lot of them, including F45, but we decided to go with Fitness First because of the location and the amazing group classes that they had. Also, we considered shopping malls and grocery stores. In this location, you have quite a few, which includes one Mont Kiara, 163, as well as Hartamas Shopping Center. These shopping centers had everything that we needed. And lastly, dining options. Mont Kiara and Hartamas has so many dining options that you'll be spoiled for it. Right from cheap eats to high-end international food.
now that you know all the must-haves for the location, it's a bit important to see what services that you require in the house, because obviously you're going to live in that house for a long period of time. You need to make sure that whatever that you require as a family is available in that particular house. First and foremost, we all know that Malaysia is extremely hot. So you need to ensure that the accommodation that you live in has AC, both in the bedrooms and also in the living rooms, to ensure that it cools you off throughout the day and night. The second thing that is very important to check is also whether your apartment comes with a water filter. It's good to have, because if you don't, then you would most probably have to go to the markets and buy a bunch of water bottles and lug them in the house. So do check that out too. The other thing to look for in your apartment is the kitchen setup. Most of the apartments here in Malaysia do not come with a full kitchen setup, but because we have a daughter, we wanted to do a bit of light cooking for her. So in our apartment, we had an induction cooktop which allowed us to do light cooking. The availability of a dryer and a washing combo in an apartment was an important thing for us, because we needed to wash a lot of clothes for ourselves. So that is something that is a must-have for us. And on top of that, the other thing that you should check out is the internet. Mostly all of Malaysia have very good internet speed, but it is something good to ask from beforehand to ensure that these are included in the rent and you don't have to pay separately for that. And the last piece of thing that was very important for us is definitely safety. Now, in saying that, Malaysia, so far we found it to be a very safe country. However, just for that peace of mind, just knowing that your apartment is in a gated community or there is a guard, it gives you that peace of mind.
Now let's talk about what sort of accommodation: hotel, Airbnb, or directly from a real estate agent. Interestingly, we've done all three in a period of 3 months. When we first arrived, we checked into the signature hotel here in Mont Kiara for 2 nights. Looking back, it was really not necessary, but it did help us get acquainted to the area. Then we got an Airbnb in Sri Hartamas at the Dorset Residences. It was fantastic. We loved that place, and it's actually not that far from Mont Kiara. Because we got a 3-month deal, we were able to negotiate the price down. Other areas around here were much more expensive. The apartment was 650 square feet with a bedroom, a bathroom, as well as a study. The apartment also had an amazing rooftop pool, some restaurants, and a great lobby. Then we learned from a local friend at our co-working space that we could actually lower the price even more if we hired directly from a real estate agent. So that's what I did. Over the next few weeks, I spoke to a lot of real estate agents, and most of them said no because they wanted 12-month commitments, but all we needed was 1 or 2 yeses, and thankfully we did. And even more better, we actually got an apartment in the same apartment complex, just 1 story up, same unit, everything same, but this time around directly from the owner. But this time the price was lowered to 650, and that's how we saved over $600 in 2 months.
The last and the most important thing of this whole video is, what is the budget? Now, it is very important when you go in trying to rent an apartment is have budget in your mind, and that will guide you as to what kind of value you will get out of the apartment. Now, when we started looking for apartment, we had a rough budget of about 1,000 USD per month, and we wanted to make sure that we stay in this budget and we are flexible to move around here and there. Lucky, for the first month we spent around $950 US, which is the hotel and Airbnb that we had. But thanks to Nabil trying to find out all these other ways where we can optimize, we were able to get the same apartment at a much more lower cost, which is, for the second month we paid about $650, and for the third month again $650. So in total we had a lot of saving out of that. If you are interested to know more about the breakdown, we'll include that in the description for you.
So the main reason why we're moving houses is because the Airbnb that we stayed in for the first month, it's exactly the same house as this. The main difference is in terms of the fees they're charging. So with the Airbnb one, the fees were actually a lot more than this one, which we directly got from the owner. The landlord was pretty nice. The only difference is because you're staying for for a shorter period of time, your monthly rent would be slightly higher.
So that's it. 5 points that helped us choose accommodations here in Malaysia as a family for 3 months.
So if you're a family who is coming to Malaysia for a short period of time or for a long period of time, I hope this video helped you in finding all your questions about accommodation here in Malaysia. I cannot stress enough, our journey here in Malaysia has been extremely well. Kuala Lumpur is a city that completely blew my mind. This is the first time that I've been here, and I do not think this will be the last time.
I've been here a few times, but I just keep loving coming to this city. Please do subscribe to our channel for more content and help us grow, especially in these early days.
And I hope you enjoyed this video and you got some value out of it.
See you in the next video.